Okay, I think in the last video or two, I mentioned the Kindle Previewer. So once you've got that EPUB exported, you're going to upload the manuscript here, kind of like you would with the PDF. And then you're going to need to upload a cover file. What I did for the cover file, let me see, let's go over here. I think I went into either the hard cover or the paperback cover. And this is probably not going to look quite right because... let's see, there it is. Because the fonts are not on this machine that I'm recording the tutorial on. Yep, missing links and stuff. So I'm just going to skip that for now. And let's zoom out here. So basically what I did, or it's been a little bit since I did this. I had some life disruptions that sort of threw me off here a little bit. But I think basically what I did is just, you can go up here to File and then export this. So I'm going to export to a JPEG file is probably sufficient. So I'll just go ahead and export that to the desktop. It's gonna export weird, I believe. Quality was maximum. Resolution, I'm going to bump that up to 300 pixels per inch, just so it's high res, and then RGB is fine. And I'm exporting all pages, which is basically just this one page right here. And we'll go ahead and export that. So that is now exported. So I'm going to close this, not save it. That should have exported to the desktop, I believe. Let's see. There it is, hardcover. And now what I'm going to do is open this in Photoshop. Actually, before I do, I'm going to open Photoshop or whatever image editor you're using. So I'll open that, but I need to figure out what the dimensions are. So back here where you upload a cover file, there is the cover. So you can either use the cover creator, which I've never used before, but I mean, it could work for you. And then the required cover specs is what I'm going to use because I need to know what to set this file at. So it says the ideal dimensions for the cover are 2560 by 1600 pixels in width. It's going to be 72 pixels per inch. So let's go to Photoshop here, close that, and create a new file. And I'm going to set my dimensions to pixels. So what was that again? 2560. So 2560. And I think it was 1600. And the resolution is going to be 72 because this is for a screen, for screen readers. So that is great. And then we'll just go ahead and create it. Wait, that's not right. I think I did the wrong width and height. That was my mistake. So let's close that and try it again. You probably saw me putting it in the wrong spot, and you're like, yeah, you're wrong there. Why didn't you tell me? Okay, so let's do that there and 1600 for the height. Okay, now we'll create it. Much better. Okay, so now I will just go ahead and pull in the Photoshop file, which I saved on the desktop here. So just grab this and drag it and drop it over here. See if that works. No, it didn't work. Let's try it again. Or did it? It was just thinking. Oh no, it's not working. Okay, let's do this. We'll open this in Photoshop. Maybe. Okay, there we go. And I'm just gonna hit Control A to select everything. Actually, I wonder if I can just drag it. Let's try that. Grab the Move tool here. Just drag this right over there. Oh, hey, look at that. It did paste before. It was just frozen up or something. Okay, so obviously now this is a monstrosity. So I'm just going to scale it down. It used to be that you had to hold the shift key. I'll drag that out right there for it to constrain proportions and not shift. Now if you hold the shift key down, it actually messes up the proportions. Say it stretches it, which we don't want. I guess they just figured that by default, who would want it to squish and stretch anyway? Okay, so we'll line that up. There we go. And then I'll just hit enter. And now I can just save this file out. File, save as, and we'll save it. Actually, I'm not going to save it as. I am going to export it because I don't want to save it as a Photoshop file. I want to save it as a, I'm going to export it as a PNG is fine. Like you do a PNG or a JPEG. So we just export that to wherever we want to export it. And then we come back here to Kindle and upload that cover file. And there you'll have a properly formatted cover file. Okay, and then the last thing I was going to talk about was the previewer. So you can launch the previewer here, which will give you a sense of what the book looks like. It does recommend for more accuracy, I think, to download the Kindle Previewer, which you can do. So this all looks fine to me. But you can always double check it. So let's see, there is a link right down here. Download the Kindle Previewer. It just downloads an executable if you're on a Windows or a DMG file for a Mac, and then you install it like you would any app. And once you've installed that, let's see, do I have mine open right now? I don't. Let's open that up. I believe I installed it. The Kindle Previewer. Is that it? Yeah. Okay, so here's the previewer. Once you open it up, and then you just click Open Book. You go to your eBook file, and there it is. And you can see over here on the left that this is why it's important that all of your files have readable names that align with each chapter or page so that they can navigate to that in the table of contents. One thing that I was hoping in the previewer, which is not here, so we're going to have to do this the hard way, and that is that they had a way to edit the XML files and other files that are exported in the EPUB book. But instead, we're going to have to do some more advanced stuff to work through an issue I ran into when I was playing around with Ingram Spark. So we'll look at that in a subsequent video. But for now, you know how to use the previewer and get things ready for your ebook. And then once you've got everything set up here, you just save and continue, and then you set your pricing. We've already talked about pricing using ChatGPT to come up with maybe what a good starting price is. So I'm not going to go through that. I think this is where we'll stop for now on the ebook. I will say one last thing. Hindsight, like, it's been a little frustrating designing the paperback, thinking I was done, discovering that I needed to do a different version for the hardcover, and then discovering that I have to do a different version, how to do a different version for the ebook in InDesign. So hindsight, I think if I would have known that from the start, it would have created a less frustration. There is another point of frustration, and that is when you get your proof back. I got my proof back, and I went through, and there were some adjustments I need to make. And so I'm going to show you what I learned from that so that hopefully you don't make that mistake, and I don't make that mistake on my next book. So I'll see you in the next video.